Things are heating up in Edmonton. It took just one day to flip the whole franchise on its head, with decisions that could reshape the future of the Oilers. One player just got crowned with a massive deal. Another showed a level of loyalty that caught even the most optimistic fans off guard, and the rumor mill is spinning out of control. But the question is, are we witnessing the start of a new era? Or is this the final push before everything collapses? You'll want to hear this one, so grab a seat, hit that like button, and let's dive right in. When a team decides to go all in on its future, it's not just about contracts and cap space. It's about sending a message to the entire league. And that's exactly what the Edmonton Oilers did by locking in Jake Walman for 7 years at $49 million. It's not an overstatement to say this move has everyone around the NHL talking. Walman might not be a household name for casual fans, but if you've been watching closely, you know exactly how crucial he's been to Edmonton's system. He came over last season from the San Jose Sharks at the trade deadline, bringing experience from Detroit and St. Louis. It didn't take him long to make an impact. 40 points in 65 games. And just with the Oilers jersey on, he put up a goal and 7 assists in 15 regular season games. But it was in the playoffs, when the pressure hits and pretenders fade, that he really showed his worth. 2 goals and 8 assists in 22 games. That's production from a defenseman who thrives when the stakes are highest. And let's be honest, the Oilers needed that kind of reliability on the blue line. For years, fans have watched this team dominate offensively, only to crumble defensively when it mattered most. Walman, at 29 years old and nearly 270 NHL games deep, brings the perfect blend of experience, physicality, and hockey IQ to steady the ship. This contract is more than just a signing, it's a statement. 7 years for a defenseman means commitment, stability, and a long-term vision. It tells McDavid and Draisaitl that management's serious about building something sustainable, that they can go out there and play their game knowing the back end is secure. And here's the underrated part. A guy like Walman doesn't just defend. He jumpstarts transitions that fuel Edmonton's signature high-speed offense. But just when fans were still wrapping their heads around that deal, came the real bombshell. A 2-year, $25 million extension for Connor McDavid. That one hit home. It felt like adding rocket fuel to an already huge day. Keeping the captain locked in and surrounded by talent like Walman could be the difference between another heartbreak and finally lifting that elusive Stanley Cup tape. Oilers fans flooded social media instantly. Some praised the front office's vision, others questioned the numbers. But anyone who watched Walman last spring knows the guy can deliver when it counts. And as big as that signing was, it wasn't even the day's biggest headline. Sometimes a captain speaks on the ice, other times with a pen. What McDavid just did wasn't just a signature. It was a statement of intent. By taking a 2-year, $25 million extension, the best player in the league sent a clear message. We're here to win now. In a world where stars chase decade-long, record-breaking deals, McDavid went the other way. He left money on the table to crank up the urgency and put pressure on everyone around him. The clock's ticking. Until 2028, the Oilers have a 3-year window to bring that cup back to Edmonton. And here's the kicker, McDavid won't even be the highest-paid player in the league, or in his own locker room. His line-mate Leon Draisaitl, who inked a $14 million deal last year, holds that title. McDavid's choice wasn't about comfort, it was about competition. He doesn't want security, he wants results. That kind of move changes everything. The room's energy, the front office's priorities, even how rival GMs talk behind closed doors. Some analysts are already calling it a pressure contract, because it forces accountability across the board. McDavid's saying loud and clear that he loves this city, but if the team can't deliver, he's not afraid to look elsewhere. It's the kind of move that sparks debates, theories, and a whole lot of nerves among fans. GM Stan Bowman kept things polished in his official statement, calling McDavid's focus and commitment unmatched, and his obsession with bringing a cup to Edmonton inspiring. Nice words, but between the lines, it's clear what's really happening. McDavid's making everyone around him step up. He's demanding the same level of sacrifice he gives every single shift. For fans, this short-term deal is a roller coaster. It's inspiring because it screams loyalty, but it's nerve-wracking because we all know what could happen if things go south. In the stands and online, opinions are flying. Some call him the ultimate leader. Others think it's a polite warning shot to management. Either way, McDavid just doubled the stakes. No excuses now. The roster's stronger, Wallman adds defensive grit, and the championship window is officially open for the next 3 seasons. But this story doesn't end in Edmonton. It's already echoing across the league, especially in Las Vegas. When a stone hits the water, the ripples spread fast. McDavid's short deal didn't just shake Edmonton, it's got Jack Eichel thinking. The Golden Knight star is a year away from free agency, coming off an 8-year deal worth $10 million annually. And now people are wondering, will he follow McDavid's bold example or play it safe and lock in long-term security? Eichel's situation is different. He's already got his cup, he's settled, and he's thriving in Vegas. After everything he went through in Buffalo, the injuries, the drama, the surgery saga, he's found stability. Most insiders believe he's not looking to gamble with that. But that's where the McDavid effect kicks in. When one of the greatest players alive bets on the now, it changes the conversation. GMs around the league start rethinking how they handle their stars. And for Eichel, a shorter deal could mean flexibility, a chance to adapt as the league evolves or the roster shifts. Former goalie and analyst Carter Hutton said it best on Daily Faceoff: live. McDavid's situation won't rush Eichel's decision, because Vegas is in a much steadier spot. McDavid signed to turn up the pressure. Eichel can afford to take his time. Still, the NHL runs on stories, and this one's got plenty of fuel. 2 elite centers, McDavid and Eichel, both reshaping contract norms in the same cycle. That's a storyline that's going to ripple through front offices everywhere. Fans are all over it too. Some in Edmonton are already dreaming up wild scenarios where McDavid and Eichel somehow end up on the same roster down the line. Total speculation, sure, but that's how online chatter works. Meanwhile, in Vegas, most are confident Eichel stays put, though you can bet the McDavid comparison will hang over every conversation from now on. So, yeah, a deal that started as a message to Alberta is now shaking things up all the way to Nevada. With the new season right around the corner and the stakes climbing higher by the day, McDavid's decision might just be the first domino in a much bigger chain reaction. And if you think that's all, just wait to see how this shift hits the locker room and shapes the Oilers' next chapter. What we saw today wasn't just a busy day for Edmonton. It was a turning point. Wallman brings stability. McDavid brings urgency. And even players in other cities are feeling the impact of this blue and orange storm. The message is clear. The Stanley Cup window is open, but not for long. Now it's up to the players, the coaches, and the fans to push together. Do you think this is finally the year? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like and keep that Oilers fire burning.